Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the racebooks and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program on this beautiful Sunday morning, coming to you live and direct from the gaming capital of the world, right here at the South Point Studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard, right on the Strip. And we welcome you to the show today. It is a beautiful morning here in Las Vegas. Our temperatures in the 40s. Believe it or not, we're going to push through 60s. As a matter of fact, for the beginning of next week until we get to about Thursday, we're going to be into the mid to high 60s here with clear weather. So that's nice, finally getting here. After all, we will be turning the page to February soon. So we welcome you to the show, and we know that you guys, a lot of you are planning on being up here for that thing called the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. So we're just making sure that we're giving you the latest on the weather conditions as we move forward. Today, of course, in the NFL, it is the NFL Conference Championships. The two teams that win today go to the Super Bowl right down the street here in Las Vegas, live at the Allegiant Stadium. And, boy, this town is starting to really rock and roll for it. You know, Las Vegas has always been a perfect town to visit and watch the Super Bowl when it's not here live. But now you got it here live as well. So we're going to be kicking out the jams, no doubt about it. And here on the South Point Studio streaming at YouTube, we got two fantastic shows that'll be covering the point spreads and all of the angles to the Super Bowl, as well as sports. Sports by the Book is on our station, as well as Punchline. So make sure you tune in for that as well here. If you're watching us and listening to us on the YouTube channel, South Point Studio. Don't forget to subscribe if you're listening and watching us this morning. And, of course, we have an entire bevy of platforms that we deliver our shows to you, like our websites, racedaylasvegas.com.vegas.world, streaming on that. And, of course, your iPhone, your Android with the KSHP app that you can get at your app store for your devices. And of course, here in Las Vegas locally, our anchor radio stations, KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. And, of course, wherever you get your podcasting. Weather, man, I'll tell you, it's going to be 84 in Miami today, which is a key because Gulfstream Park has that monster mandatory carryover in their pick six as a 20-cent base bet, and it goes out the door today. They're expecting the pot to be between $5 and $6 million today. It's 20 cents away. Remember that. They left the money on the table yesterday because there was more than one winner in the pick six. And the leftover money, the cash money sitting in there, is almost $1 million. So it's going to be a blockbuster day of handicapping at Gulfstream Park the day after their big day, the Pegasus World Cup. That's for sure. And, of course, we're going to be covering it with our handicappers. Our handicappers did well yesterday. Jerry Jackowitz nailed the Pegasus World Cup. If you remember, I asked him the day before, he doesn't do Gulfstream. He said, well, at least, do your handicapping. Take a look at the Pegasus World Cup and give us your predictions on that. And he was right. His key horse, Senor Buscador, that Jonathan Hardoon had and several other people had, ran a huge second-place finish, of course, to National Treasure. We'll get into those results in just a moment or two with Jonathan Hardoon. He'll be with us early. We have, of course, Hardoon with us today. Rich Eng will be along to give us his selections, his final picks, his selections for the NFL Conference Championships today, and, of course, a race at Santa Anita. John Lenda will be with us, and so will Jerry Jackowitz. So before anything else gets started, let's go to Jonathan Hardoon right now, because what we're going to do, Jonathan, is go through the results of Gulfstream yesterday, if you don't mind. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
What a day it was yesterday, huh, pal?
It certainly was. Terrific day of racing, safe day, no problems. Everything went smooth. A couple of guys had huge days. Ortiz won a bunch of races.
Certainly.
Chad Brown only had one winner, but Baffert won the big one. And take nothing away from that horse. He ran his eyeballs out, and it took a terrific ride by Flavien Prat to win that race. He took back down the backstretch, and that made the difference.
It was, I believe, it was Flavien Prat that won the race aboard a horse that was ready to go, but he could have been in a suicide duel going down the backstretch. We'll take a look at the Pegasus World Cup right now, and then I'll give the results of all those other races yesterday because, like you said, Irad Ortiz had a monster day again yesterday at Gulfstream. But in the Pegasus World Cup, National Treasure went out, as expected, towards the front end. But Hoist the Gold was sent hard to get the lead. And all of a sudden, before you got to that short run to the first turn, you had Hoist the Gold and National Treasure banging heads. And as the announcer said, they're going a brisk pace, and they were. And that was, everybody who was betting Senor Buscador, who closed, I believe, at 9-1 odds, was licking our chops because that's the type of race you needed to set the table for Senor Buscador, because after all, he was in another zip code. Not only was he last, but he was far behind the second-to-last horse going down the backstretch. And I got to think that most of the people that listen to you guys pick Senor Buscador was probably saying, what the heck were they thinking about? But that wasn't the entire story, because going down the backstretch, Flavien Prat realized that they were going a good clip. And so he managed to take National Treasure back off of the pace and let Hoist the Goal continue to roll along by himself, with keeping an eye on him about a length, 2 lengths off of that leader. And then when they hit the far turn, Prat and National Treasure re-engaged. They went after Hoist the Gold, got past him, and then the closers were coming because everybody else was starting to fade that was even close to that early pace. And here comes Senor Buscador on the outside, and he was motoring. And he got up to within a threatening victory of National Treasure, but Prat and National Treasure and the training of Bob Baffert and the quality of this horse prevailed in the end. They got the job done and won the Pegasus World Cup Invitational. National Treasure, a 7:20 for the win there. Senor Buscador was second. Finishing third in the race was Krupe, a nice big long shot. And so, you guys were right on the mark with Senor Buscador because he was the price. He was the horse that really made the exotics happen, but can't take anything away from National Treasure.
The interesting thing about National Treasure, if you look at the PPs, his 2 previous races that he won, both of them were wire to wire. He's never passed a horse. And I don't know if it was more of Hoist the Gold coming back or that he just went by him, but he was in the right spot. Pratt gave him a great ride, and the ride certainly made the difference. Take nothing away from Senor Buscador. He had a choice, I guess, at the top of the stretch to go outside or inside. He was so full of run, he just took him to the outside. And I really thought he was going by him most of the stretch, but the wire just came in time for National Treasure, and he held on and won by a nick.
Trained by Bob Baffert, National Treasure wins it and put an exclamation point on a terrific day of racing out at Gulfstream Park. Earlier in the day, the Pegasus World Cup Turf was won by Warm Heart. Warm Heart in a solid effort under Ryan Moore for Aidan O'Brien wins. And she now goes to the breeding shed. This was her last race before retirement. Warm Heart paid $680 with a rail ride under Ryan Moore that got that victory. You saw that ride, didn't you, buddy?
That was some ride. He shaved the hedge. I mean, he was never more than an inch off the hedge. His boot had to be hitting it. And that, believe it or not, also made the difference. To get from the 9-post to the rail, not an easy thing to do, and what a terrific, terrific ride by Ryan Moore.
Not even a question about that. And the time for the mile and 1/8 on the grass established a new course record. She ran it in 144.45 100 seconds, 144.45 in winning that race. And she needed to get the course record because I'm very busy, was running second in that race. Big long shot. Irad Ortiz Jr. was in the zone all day long. He rides this long shot to a second place finish, happened to make the exacta and the exotics happen, and Catnip finished third in the race. Integration just never fired.
No, and people complained about his ride on social media. They were really going after Tyler Gaffleone, and Gaffleone's a great, great rider, and he could ride any horse for me any day of the week. The interesting thing was Warm Heart was the only filly in the race running against a bunch of boys and geldings, and she really ran well.
She did, and she is now off to the breeding farm, and you got to think that her offspring is going to demand a lot of zeros and commas before you get to purchasing that one, if it'll be up for sale. Earlier, the Fred W. Hooper won by Tomarumba. Luis Saez aboard, a great ride there as well, 1880, outrunning Castle Chaos and Steel Sunshine. Castle Chaos was a horse that John Lindo liked a lot. Big price, too, and just got beat at the end. There was a little bit of a controversy in the race, but it held, and Tomarumba wins it. Luis Saez's second win of the day. Then we went to the Pegasus World Cup Filly Mare Turf, this for $500,000, but the winner, Dita, was a solid winner there. Jose Ortiz aboard, his second win of the day for Ignacio Carreras the fourth, and Dita paid $8.60, outrunning a huge long shot that rolled up the rails, surprisingly. Again, the exotics paid very well. With these, even with these favorites, the exotics paid well because there were a lot of long shots that finished second and third. And Ruby Nell finished third, the Southern California horse, in that race. Any thoughts?
It was surprising that we didn't see Ruby Nell on the lead because her last couple of races in SoCal, she was, last time out, she went wire to wire. Her race 2 starts back, she went wire to wire. They decided to take her back yesterday. I don't know if it made a difference, but the horse did run a good third. Take nothing away for her. She has 10 lifetime starts with 5 wins. Well, now 11 starts with 5 wins and 3 seconds.
Well, it was a solid win by her, that's for sure. The earlier stakes races, the inside information at 7 furlongs, Irad Ortiz Jr. goes gate to wire with Olivia Darling. His 5th win of the day in the first 9 races and his second stakes race of the day, trained by Jorge Delgado. Olivia Darling paid $16 even, outrunning Bluefield, and Mary Quite Contrary was which was the favorite in that race.
It's amazing how many races the Ortiz brothers win, and they seem to go off prices in a lot of these races. Usually, like when Pratt rides in Southern California, you probably get a point or two less than you're supposed to get because he gets overplayed. But for some reason, the Ortiz brothers are always there, and they get away with going off at big prices, and this was another one.
I can tell you this, in the first 10 races yesterday at Gulfstream Park, the Ortiz brothers together won 7 of those 10 races. I read charting with 5 of them with this win and the inside information. Then we had the William L. McKnight, 1.5 miles on the turf, and Francisco Clemente, I should say, gets the win. Irad again, his 4th win of the day so far, up to that point. The Chad Brown trainee is the one you're talking about. Francisco Clemente wins and pays $640 as the favorite, outrunning starting over in that race. And F5, the horse that I liked in the race, they drew in. This horse ran a monster race. I know he finished 3rd, but he ran a monster race because he really had quick fractions going 1.5 miles, and he was one of the 2 horses out on the lead that managed to stay the course and finish with in the money.
He did all the heavy lifting, Ralph. And, the race set up really well for Francesco Clemente, whatever. I mean, they were flying.
Yeah.
And your horse really actually ran very, very well to finish 3rd. I thought he was going to back up, to be honest with you, with those fractions. But he kept going, and Francesco Clemente just picked up the pieces, and he got a perfect ride and a perfect trip.
Not even a question about that. My thought was the same as yours when I saw the halftime for F5, I thought to myself, what the bleep is he doing? But in any case, the horse was ready to run, that's for sure. A nice 3rd there. The Carousel Club was the 7th race, the winner of their county final. Flavian Pratt for Safi Joseph Jr. That was Safi Joseph Jr.'s 2nd win of the day there and paid $760. Then we got to the La Previant at 1.5 miles on the turf for the fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. And in that race, Alpha Bella wins Luis Saez aboard. Nice ride there, I thought, at 19:20 for Todd Pletcher's 2nd win of the day, outrunning Arkali Kim and Anatolan, who finished 3rd in that race.
Yeah, the Grand Motion horse, Romanga Mia, was a disappointment. I think she went off the favorite or close to it. It was between her and Arkali Kim. She just never showed up. She shows speed in most of her races, or she's certainly close up. She just didn't fire yesterday. Johnny V for Grand Motion, so I'm sure they were a little disappointed.
Yeah, she looked like that something happened to her because she was never in it. And the good thing about it is John Velasquez, after realizing that it was not going to be her day, did not abuse her at all. Yeah.
You protect her for another day.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what was under the hood on that one. That's for sure. It's just disappointing. That's for sure in that race. And in the one of the undercard races, the South Beach Handicap, the winner there was Candy Light. Tyler Gaffleone did get that win for Safi Joseph Jr.'s 1st win of the day, paying $660. But I can tell you this, that Irad Ortiz Jr., in the first 5 races, he had 4 rides, and he won all 4 of them. So he was really in the zone yesterday at Gulfstream. But a big day of racing at Gulfstream. A lot of fans there. It was one of those flashback perfect days of racing on big racing days at a racetrack. They did a good job.
Unfortunately, we don't see enough of these days anymore, but it was really a great day. It was something for everybody. And again, it was a safe day of racing, so no problems, and that's good for the game. We need, we don't want problems on big days like happened in Saratoga this year, and a couple of their big days, there were catastrophes, and that only hurts the sport, but it was really a good day for racing.
Fantastic day, and a lot of money left on the table for horse players to participate today in the big mandatory Pick 6 jackpot carryover. By the way, the folks there at Gulfstream also own, of course, Santa Anita, and after the response that they've had on the Pegasus World Cup days, they're planning same type of day for Santa Anita during the September meeting. They say it's going to be the California Crown, where it's going to be a big race for 3-year-olds. They're making their plans now to have a Pegasus World Cup type of day out at Santa Anita in their September meet. They said September 28th, I think, is their target for that, and we'll wait and see about that. And as they did with the Pegasus World Cup, they built, additional races year after year as it became popular. I think that could be the same template for maybe starting something like that in Southern California.
That would be great, but it's tricky because it's right before the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
So you don't want to make it too close to the Breeders' Cup where you'll have horses that won't be able to participate in the Breeders' Cup because, they're going to have to make it at least 6 weeks to 2 months before the Breeders' Cup. Otherwise, I think it's going to affect horses that are running in the Breeders' Cup. You're going to have a choice. But if they put it close, early enough, there'll be time for those horses to come back and run in the Breeders' Cup. And you'll probably get some Breeders' Cup horses show up for that day. So it's probably a good idea.
Well, the thing about it, I think, is what they're trying to do is position it as a major prep race for the Breeders' Cup. And maybe that'll work. I don't know. But at least the intentions are good. That's for sure. Yeah. Jonathan, I know you got to go. So what we're going to do is, I'll get your picks and then I'll do the racing menu right after our first break. But we need some picks today and certainly something at Gulfstream, pal.
Well, we're going to give you a single in the last race at Gulfstream, race 11. And I love the number 1 horse in here, Mama Bella. This is a 3-year-old filly from the Jose D'Angelo barn. She had 1 start on the grass as a 2-year-old, and she ran very, very well in that race. 2 horses out of that race have come back and won. Austin Murphy aboard to ride. She's listed at 9-2 on the morning line. She gets licensed for the first time today. Number 1, Mama Bella, pick 6 single in today's 11th and final out at Gulfstream.
Well, I can say this because I'm Italian. Mamma mia, it's Mama Bella. In the 11th race, the one Mama Bella, your singleton for the end of the pick 6 in that big mandatory, the 1 and the 11th and final race at Gulfstream. And another?
Santa Anita, race 9, 6.5 furlongs on the turf. It's not down the hill. It's a flat race. And I like the number 3 horse in here, Laudatory. Laudatory's a 3-year-old filly from the Phil D'Amato barn. She had a race as a 2-year-old, and she ran really well in that race. She's listed at 6-1 on the morning line. J.J. Hernandez aboard to ride. Gets Lasix today for the first time. Number 3, Laudatory, 6-1 on the morning line, wins today's 9th and final. By the way, a full field of 11. I like number 3, Laudatory, to send you home a winner in today's Santa Anita's final.
A full field at Santa Anita. That's good vibes, that's for sure. In the 9th race, number 3, Laudatory, with top jock Juan Hernandez aboard, the 3 in the 9th. So you're going to send us home a winner at both Gulfstream and Santa Anita. Love it. Now, I want to remind everybody, Jonathan, that you got a full sheet of handicapping for Santa Anita, as well as Oaklawn, Aqueduct, and at Gulfstream Park today. You did 4 sheets, and of course, the popular one, frankly, probably will be Gulfstream today. But nevertheless, a lot of hard work there, my man. And we'll let you go, and then we'll talk to you again on Wednesday. I'm sure you'll have a soapbox by Wednesday. But a final thought about anything that happened at Gulfstream that, brought to your attention.
Nope. All good. It was a great day of racing. We need more days like that. And Wednesday, we will have a Tampa selection, Tampa Bay selection, a price horse we have waiting for you on Wednesday. So come back.
And I got to tell you, I think, was it last week, you gave us the winner at Tampa Bay on a Wednesday.
Yeah, a couple of Tampa Bay selections at one. So that's good.
Yeah, so you're becoming our Tampa man. We tap Jonathan for Tampa. All right, Jonathan, thanks a lot. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Thanks, Ralph. Stay safe and be well.
All right, to wrap this up before we get started, just to wrap it up, a couple of more quick results. Aqueduct yesterday, the Interborough Stakes was won by Hot Fudge. That was Kendrick Carmouche's 3rd win of the day for trainer Linda Rice. Hot Fudge paid $880, outrunning Dr. B, which was Jerry J's key horse. Hot Fudge was one of his link-ups, so he got the reverse exacta there, paid $15.10. Finishing 3rd was Ain't Broke in that race. And Kendrick Carmouche wound up the day winning 4 races. He came back with the 10th and final race, I should say. Pick 6 at Aqueduct paid $21,293 yesterday at Aqueduct. And that's just about what happened at the Big A. Santa Anita yesterday, the San Pasquale. The winner there was New Grange. Victor Espinoza. 1 ride on the 1 day, and it was a winner. New Grange holds off Newgate to win. Phil D'Amato, the trainee there. And this horse, New Grange, by the way, was the winner of the same race last year, so he defended his title, won back-to-back San Pasquales, paying $620. And as I said, Newgate ran 2nd. Mixto was third. In that race, Jerry J. again had the reverse because his key horse was Newgate, and one of his link-ups was Newgrange. So the reverse exacta paid $10.10 for a buck. He also had the dollar trifecta there when Mixed 2, another link-up, ran third. That dollar trifecta paid $75.60. And I got to tell you, folks, when you're playing the early pick 5 and early pick 4, all you got to do is beat the favorite in the early pick 5 because of the low takeout. Look at the difference yesterday. The first race winner at Santa Anita paid $26.60. It was an upsetter. The first race paid $26.60, followed by 4 even, $19.60, $9, and $6.40. That was the sequence in the pick 5. The pick 5 paid $2,635.90. If you missed that first race and you started the pick 4 thereafter with the next 4 winners, the pick 4 paid $120.95, a difference of $2,514.95 from the first race winner in the pick 5 to the remaining horses in the pick 4. That's a big difference there, so keep that in mind when you're playing. Juan Hernandez won the 2 races on yesterday's card as well. Other quick winners yesterday, Oaklawn Park, the 5th season, won by Promise Keeper for Harry Hernandez, 1620 there for trainer Robertino Diodoro. Finishing second was Seize the Night, and Silver Prospector was third there. Talk about the big payoffs in pick 5s. How about the early pick 5 at Oaklawn? 27.80, 23 even, 35.20, 4.20, and 16.20. That pick 5 paid $40,817.60 there. Laurel Park's 2 stakes races. The extra heat won by Ronan Goddess for Giron Barbosa. That was his third win of the day, by the way, for that jock. Paid $6.80. And the spectacular bid was won by Gunair with Romero Murat aboard for Dick Dutrow. That paid $2.60 as the filthy favorite in that one. And at Turfway Park yesterday, the Wishing Well was won by S.G. Warrior. Albin Jimenez aboard, paying $11.88. You know, they pay down to a penny. Baby No Worries was second, and Ravella was third in that stakes race. And that wraps it up for you. We'll be back with the racing menu. And then standing by is Rich Eng. Don't go away on this NFL Conference Championship Day. And a big mandatory payoff in the pick 6 at Gulfstream Park. What a Sunday. We'll be right back.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the race book? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the Racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our Racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Let's quickly go right to the racing menu for today. Rich Eng is standing by. Here's your racing menu for today's Sunday. Remember, first post times are Pacific, so if you're here in Las Vegas, right here at the South Point, these will be the first post times to roll out in our racebook today. If you're listening anywhere else on the multitude of the platforms that we have and you're in another time zone, adjust to the Pacific time zone. I don't want you to miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? Here we go. Here's your menu for today. First post times, Pacific. We begin with Gulfstream Park. Now, the Pick 6 jackpot cash in the pot right now, $921,256. But it all goes today, so the jackpot is off. It's a mandatory. They're expecting the pot to end up between $5 and $6 million today, and it's a 20-cent base bet. Gulfstream Park's first post time for their 11 races is at 9:10. 9:10 first post at Gulfstream. Then we go to Aqueduct, the big A in New York. Aqueduct has 10 races. They got a couple of stakes races there at Aqueduct. And the stakes races at Aqueduct are the Florida Sandy. That's the 4th race on the card. 7 furlongs for 4-year-olds and up. Favorite in that race at 6-5 is Rockney with Jose Lascano aboard. Then later on, the Rego Park Stakes is the 9th race, 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds. And the 7-5 favorite in that race is Antonio of Venice with Manny Franco aboard. 10 races today at the Big A. And their first post time is at 9:20 at Aqueduct. And they say the track is sloppy today at Aqueduct. It is raining there in New York. All right, next up comes Laurel Park. Laurel Park has a couple of stakes races on tap, the 8th and 9th. 10 races overall at Laurel. First post time is at 9:25. 9:25 at Laurel today. And let's see, do they have any carryovers there? Yeah, they do. The Pick 6 Jackpot carryover, $5,741 at Laurel today. Tampa Bay Downs. They've got 9 races at Tampa Bay, and a first post time at Tampa Bay Downs with the Pick 6 Jackpot carryover, $55,342 is at 9:30. 9:30 first post at Tampa Bay. Oak Lawn Park in Hot Springs, Arkansas has 9 races today. You want to check out the 5th race at Oak Lawn today. In the 5th race at Oak Lawn, a full brother of the Great Flight Line goes in a maiden race there. His name is Oliver. His name is Oliver. He's the 4-horse in the 5th race. He's a 4-year-old maiden, but he's a full brother of the Flight Line. That's in the 5th race. 9 races overall today at Oak Lawn. First post time is at 10:30. Then we go to the Fairgrounds. Fairgrounds in New Orleans. 8 races today at the Fairgrounds. And a first post time there with a regular Pick 6 carryover of $1,359 is set at 10:45. Sunland Park, all quarter-horse races today. 9 races at Sunland Park. Quarter-horse races they are. They're Pick 5. They got a regular Pick 5 carryover today at Sunland, $161. And the Super High 5 carryover there is $155, but those are carryovers. First post time at Sunland for the quarter-horse racing is at 11:25. Then we go to Santa Anita. Great race place there at Santa Anita. First post time for 9 races set at 12:30. Feature race today is the $100,000 Clocker's Corner Stakes at 6.5 furlongs on the turf. We're a field of 8 before scratches. A competitive race, too. The morning line favorite here is at 3-1, and that's Daniel's Magic. Flavian Pratt is scheduled to ride. Hope he makes it back in time from Gulfstream. Santa Anita's first post time is at 12:30. Golden Gate, Northern California, has a Pick 6 Jackpot carryover, $35,134. First post time at Golden Gate for 8 races, 12:45. And then we wrap it up at Los Alamitos in Southern California. Los Alamitos, of course, seeds the Pick 6 pool. It's not a jackpot, but they seed the Pick 6 pool on Sundays with 10,000. So there's already 10,000 in the Pick 6 pool at Los Al. 9 races today, 1 thoroughbred, 5 mixed breed, 3 quarter horses, and the final 2 races are quarter horse trials at 400 yards. Los Alamitos' first post time is at 5:15. We're going to another break, and when we come back, Rich Yang standing by with football. Don't go away. We return on the Sunday Race Day Show.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, back on a busy Sunday Race Day Las Vegas show. We now go right out to Rich Eng standing by. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. That was a good recap of the races at Gulfstream today. And I just want to comment, especially on the ride by Ryan Moore. He put an elephant through a keyhole to get the job done on the rail.
He sure did. His ride there and Flavien Prat's calculating ride aboard National Treasure, I think both those jockeys made the difference in a win and a loss for those two horses. Talented as they are, they still needed the trips they got from those talented jockeys, that's for sure. And your horse in that race, big long shot. Of course, you didn't get there, but nevertheless, it was a good shot in a big race, that's for sure. But today we have the AFC and NFC championships for a right to come here to Las Vegas in the 58th Super Bowl. And we got Kansas City visiting Baltimore, the Ravens. Chiefs and Ravens go at it at high noon on CBS Pacific time. The current numbers and a pick.
The weather forecast for Baltimore has changed a little bit, Ralph. It's still high of 47, but the chance of rain has dropped down to 48%, which is important because the field's going to be covered right up until, before warm-ups. So it should be a fast track to start. If the 48% doesn't come, we'll get decent conditions, that's for sure.
Yep.
Wind around 15 miles per hour. As far as a pick, Ralph, in all transparency, I have already bet the Ravens 320 at -3, but the line has moved, obviously, 3.5, 4. There's even 4.5s out there.
Ooh.
If you can get a -4 on the Ravens, I would still go and get some more. But if you like the Chiefs, you got to get the 4.5. I've talked about this for months and for years, Ralph.
Right.
You have to shop the price when the games are this close, the lines are this tight. That half point is so important. But my pick is the Ravens. Try to get them at -4.
Second game will be the Detroit Lions visiting the San Francisco 49ers. That's on Fox, kicking off at 3:30. And how do you see this one?
Well, the weather in Santa Clara, 74 degrees, just absolutely perfect, hardly any wind. A fast track, I think, benefits the Lions and the fact that Jared Goff has a great resume for playing in dome stadiums and also on artificial turf. He's going to get great conditions. He knows the 49ers from the years that he played with the Los Angeles Rams under Sean McVay. But the 49ers, we'll see which one shows up. They did not play a good game against the Packers. The Packers kind of had their way with them, and I think the Lions are easily as talented as the Packers. So I expect a close football game. I've got some Lions money, 321 at +7, but there are +7.5s out there. So if you got the Lions, shop for that 7.5. If you like the 49ers, look for the -7. But I like Detroit, 321, to keep this game close. And who knows, maybe even pull off the upset.
All right, you got it. So you're taking, as far as betting is concerned, the Baltimore Ravens and laying the points, and taking the Detroit Lions and taking the points. Not exactly your picks maybe to reach the Super Bowl, but for winning today, those are your selections. We'll get a pick for you, Santa Anita, and we'll let you go.
Yes, let's go to race number 9. I heard Jonathan gave out a Philip D'Amato horse, and I'm going to set up a Siraco play because I like the other Philip D'Amato play. That's number 10, Catonia. Catonia made the U.S. debut last time out. Exits a key race going a mile on the grass. now shortens up to 6.5. It picks up Flavien Prat, who you talked about, gave such a great ride on National Treasure yesterday. So let's go 25 win place, 2 for the ROI. Number 10, Catonia in race 9.
Okay, we've got in the ninth race, you got the 10 Catonia. Catonia is the 10 horse in the ninth race. With Jonathan having the 3, you set up a Siraco play, the box of 3, 10, 10, 3. But your pick is the 10 in the ninth. We want to remind everybody that Rich Hang's full sheet for Santa Anita races today is available right now at the racedaylasvegas.com websites. Richie, we're going to have a good time today watching that big Pick 6 mandatory unfold at Gulfstream Park. Some great football on the field and a little bit of racing in there at Santa Anita as well. Thanks a lot, Rich. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All righty. We'll be back to wrap it up with John and Jerry. They're our closing act on this Sunday show. Don't go away. We will return. And don't forget, go to YouTube, hit South Point Studio, get to it. You can see us and hear us. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. It's free. We'll be right back.
Want to bet your favorite horse but can't make it to the racebook? South Point Casino's Racebook has the answer. Come in and sign up for the Nevada Racebook mobile app. For just a $50 minimum deposit, you'll have the racebook right at your fingertips, no matter where you are in Nevada. It's convenient, fun, and easy to use. When you do have time to visit, South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. Whether you want to come in or play from the comfort of your home, South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Don't forget, we got some great shows on.
Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
You always give us that high five at the end of the show. Now I can tell you, as you can see on the screen here, if you're watching the South Point feed, we got some great shows coming up. These are sports shows. You're going to want to see them every day leading up to the Super Bowl. You got the Punchlines with Frank Nicotero. 5 days a week, Monday to Friday from 12 to 1 Pacific time. And then, of course, Sports by the Book, 7 days a week, which means they're going to be following us right here at 8:30 on Saturday and Sunday, 8:30 to 10, and Monday through Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. You got to watch. It's good stuff, that's for sure. Now we're going to go to John Lindo standing by. John, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. What a great day of racing it was yesterday at Gulfstream, huh?
Fun day of racing. You guys had mentioned the ride of Flavien Prat and Ryan Moore. I tell you what, Irad Ortiz put on a show yesterday, even on the horses he got beat. Just spectacular timing, and he really impressed me yesterday.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he was winning from all over the place, wasn't he?
Inside, outside, around. When they were going too fast, he was far back. When they were going too slow, he was up front. The clock in his head was working 100%.
No question about that. And, of course, I guess the big races, the big efforts was, of course, those two you were talking about. And, of course, Warm Hearts win in the Pegasus Turf Cup. Now she's going to retire.
Yeah, she's going to be bred to Justify. That foal might be worth $1 or two.
Oh, you kidding me? That's worth my whole neighborhood. Let's put all the houses up for sale and buy a horse. In any case, we got racing today at Santa Anita as well. Of course, there's that mandatory Pick 6 carryover at Gulfstream Park. Your sheet, your Lindo report, has all the races today at Santa Anita. Plus, believe it or not, folks, there's another coast-to-coast Pick 5, and you have a coast-to-coast Pick 5 as well on the sheet. One comprehensive sheet right here at the South Point, free of charge and exclusively here. You can only get the Lindo report here, the complete report, with the coast-to-coast Pick 5 selections and all the races Santa Anita and the suggested late Pick 4 at Santa Anita as well. It's all in one place, one sheet here, the Lindo Report at the South Point Racebook, free of charge, compliments South Point because they love horse players. A couple of trainers to talk about that did something yesterday, Brendan Galvin and Richard Baltus.
Right. Brendan Galvin's a young man who's going to be moving his barn down to Santa Anita from Golden Gate. He got his very first winner on Friday down here at Santa Anita with a guy named Mike Smith aboard. So he gets a Hall of Famer to win his first race at Santa Anita. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
And yesterday, the last race, we saw Richard Baltus, excuse me, who just came back from a 1-year suspension. He got his first winner on the road back. He ran 1-2 in the last race, but he got Flavius home in the ninth and final yesterday at Santa Anita.
John, they're talking about doing something of a Pegasus World Cup type of day out at Santa Anita in September. They're going to call it, for the operative word right now on the plan, is the California Crown, and it's a race that they're going to base for 3-year-olds. At that time of the year, Jonathan Hardoon was saying maybe it's a little too close to the Breeders' Cup, but it may be a perfect prep race for the Breeders' Cup.
Well, it could be. That race would replace the Awesome again, which is for 3-year-olds and up. So I don't know if Santa Anita would have a prep race for the older horses. But the thing that jumps out at me, Ralph, as an owner and a guy in the business, we know we're dealing with some huge purse overpayments that we have to make good on right now already. I'd like to know where the purse money is going to be funded, how it's going to be funded, and what the purses are going to be. There was a lot that wasn't put out in the public statement made by Belinda Stronach on Friday to the Associated Press. So we need more details on this, but it kind of came from out of the blue. And so the guys out here in Southern California, we kind of need more details to see if this makes any sense.
And, of course, they were talking about something about the revenue coming from Northern California that will be being placed down in Southern California, et cetera. I didn't get a chance to read it all because, these things are just in the planning stages. But when you had that big crowd and a positive feeling behind a big day of racing, this is a good time to propose something like that, even if it doesn't come to fruition. But it's nice that they're trying something like that in Southern California, that's for sure. We got to take care of the horsemen and the horses first in Southern California on a day-in, day-out basis. And, of course, all those horsemen that are being displaced in Northern California as well. That's for sure. John, I know that you have a full sheet for Santa Anita, but I got a feeling that as a handicapper, as you are, you probably took a look a little bit at the mandatory payoff over there at Gulfstream.
Well, I've got 2 of those races as part of the Coast to Coast Pick 5 on my sheet. The last 2 races at Gulfstream are part of that, and I'll go through the rest of those. And I'm a horse player, so I wish they'd announced this before I had done my schedule to do my my product this week. And I would have created something for Gulfstream, but they were a little late announcing the mandatory payout days. So as a horse player, I'll look through. But I tell you what, I'll give you this. In that Coast to Coast Pick 5, the 10th race at Gulfstream, I had a single in there, number 4, Portofino, who's 6-1 on the program. So if I can get that single there and use it in the Coast to Coast and the mandatory Rainbow 6 payout, there's some value there.
Not even a question about that, that's for sure. Pick up John Lindo's Lindo Report here at the South Point, though. He's got 2 of those Gulfstream Park races in the Pick 6 that are also part of the Coast to Coast Pick 5. All right, John, we know that you're about ready to do some jury duty next week, but we hope maybe one of the people that got dismissed and will be back on the show with us. But your plans for the Lindo Report next week?
I'll do Gulfstream Park on Thursday, then back to Santa Anita Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll be in touch with you as far as my availability for the show here for the week.
All right, you got a thought about those football games? We'll get a pick then.
I'm just going to follow Richie. He's done the work, and he's been awful good all year long. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, he was 4 for 4 last weekend, that's for sure. All right, a pick at Santa Anita.
Let's go. I'm going to go to the 9th race. It looks like we're all falling in the same race because it's a good gambling race. And I like the same horse as John Hardoon. I like number 3, Laudatory. I thought this horse was really green early, finished up well, galloped out in front. This horse, he'll improve a lot second time around. And I just think speed with the experience, 6-1 on the program is too big a price. Number 3, Laudatory, race 9. Santa Anita. All
right, we got the horse players' good housekeeping seal of approval. 2 handicappers land on the same horse, Hardoon and Lindo, in the 9th race, the 3 Laudatory. Number 3 Laudatory, and of course Richie already came with the 10, so there's a lot of action going on in the last race at Santa Anita. John, good luck with the jury, and have a great day in Southern California. Hopefully we'll be talking to you on Wednesday, but nevertheless, have a great day.
You got it, Ralph. Good luck today.
All right. Now we're going to bring in Jerry Jackowitz, who is the man of the hour as far as picking the Pegasus World Cup, because Jerry, when I forced him to do it, good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Ralph.
Now, you know that I had to request from you to do the Pegasus World Cup. You were not going to do it, but I said, look, take your handicapping skills and go there and give me an opinion. You gave me an opinion, and if people bet that opinion, the reverse play now, not the winner, but the reverse play, you came with Senor Buscador as well, but your link-ups include the winner, National Treasure, and included the third-place finisher, the big long shot, Krupe. So if that did happen and the people did play the reverse, as you often tell them, you could be a little wrong and still cash. That's what happened yesterday. Dollar Exacta paid $35, and the 50-cent trifecta, 50-cent trifecta, $290.95. Way to go, Jerry.
That was a good one. Senor Buscador ran really well. The race set up. The only problem was the race that really my second choice and the favorite, National Treasure, has moved forward fantastically from his 3 to his 4-year-old year. I think we're going to see a really good season from National Treasure, who won the Preakness. It's no surprise. I mean, he's a big, good-looking colt, and he's just growing into himself. So
yeah, Bob Baffert said something like he's starting to learn what to do now. It was a little bit awkward, but he says he's starting to learn. He's coming into not only his physical attributes but his breeding as well. So let's hope we see him a little bit later on as well. Jerry, you got full power pages for Aqueduct and Santa Anita. I know you got your Raiders hat on. You give me a thought of the football, and then we'll get some picks.
Yeah, I like Dan Campbell's taking no prisoner attitude in the way he's got the Lions playing. So I think I like the Lions. And it's time for Lamar to step up and beat Mahomes. So I don't know if that's even possible, but I'm going to back the Ravens and the Lions today.
All right, you got it, my man. Now let's back a couple of more winners. You also had a reverse play, I believe, at Aqueduct yesterday and the Interborough Stakes as well. So what are we doing first, Aqueduct?
Yeah, I think my play came in at Santa Anita also.
Yeah, you did. You had the reverse there as well. We gave you credit at the top of the show. You had reverse plays on all 3 racetracks yesterday with your selections, which means that you're giving us live horses. And as you keep professing over and over again, you can still be a little bit wrong and cash with the link-ups, and that's what happened yesterday. Aqueduct?
That is correct. Let's go to the 10th. We've got Augustine Red, the 4-horse at 5-2. We can't go much below that, but at 5-2, 2-1, I think we have a really good feature play here. 3-1 would make him a pop-out key. I'll take the 4 over the 1, 5, 8, and 9. Smaller reverses, but the 4, Augustine Red. That's our featured play in race number 10 at Aqueduct.
All right, y'all, our handicappers are giving us picks in the final races of the day, which means if they're right, we're going to have plenty of cash for a steak and lobster dinner at the end of the day, that's for sure. In the 10th race at Aqueduct, you like the 4 Augustine Red. Your link-ups are 1, 5, 8, and 9, and reverse. Now Santa Anita.
Yeah, let's go to the 9th race. Catonia, the 10-horse. This filly, I should say filly, first time Lasix, second time out in the U.S. Let's see if the Lasix makes a little difference, gets Pratt up. 10 post is a challenge, but he'll have to overcome that. But, for great jockeys like Pratt or maybe Jerry Bailey, whatever, 10 posts seem to be no problem. So we'll see. I like the 10 an awful lot. I'm playing the 10 over the 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. I'm adding in John's 3. I didn't have him in my original spread, but I know how to listen to people. So I'll take the 10 over the 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. Do reverses, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9 back over the 10. And I think I'm going to come back and press up 2, 10, 10, 2.
All right. I think you announced that very well. I don't think I have to repeat that. All I know is one thing for sure. The 9th and final race today at Santa Anita is a handicapper's rich race to look for plays. 4 of our handicappers come in that race, and 2 of them have landed on Laudatory, and now with you and Richie, you guys land on the 10. So it's like a good housekeeping seal of approval, Siraco play of 3, 10, 10, 3 from you guys. Jonathan and John go with the 3. Richie and you go with the 10. And, of course, your link-ups again, because it's a spread there, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9 with the 10. The 10 is your key. Don't forget the power pages for all of Santa Anita and all of Aqueduct, available right now at jerryjspowerpage.com. What a day is going to be. football, racing, and a mandatory huge payoff in a pick-6 carryover at Gulfstream Park. What more do you want on Sunday? Except for one more thing, and Jerry's going to say it. We'll be back on Wednesday morning. Don't forget Bob Baffert. His cutoff for his Derby horses to go into another trainer comes on Monday. We'll take a look at that on Wednesday as well. But in the meantime, we are going to enjoy today. Hope you do too. Jerry, one more thing, and you're going to say it, buddy.
Have a great race day, everybody.